Hey folks, it's James, and it's been a second. That's totally my bad. I actually missed our special intro last month, so you're going to get a double shout out this month, and I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. It's a really fun time for us here. We're getting ready to record what will be our 100th episode of Season 2 in just a couple weeks, which feels wild in like the most fun way. So ahead of that special recording, if you have any questions you want us to answer or favorite moments from the show, you want to mention to us that we could bring up with the banter, please go ahead and hit us up on social media. We're finally on Blue Sky. That link is down in the show notes. And of course, you can always email us as well. Ryan's doing a great job of staying on top of that. If you don't want to hit us up on social media, but you still want to do something special for us ahead of our big recording, you can, like I always say, rate and review us on your podcast app of choice. Of course, like I said, another great option, email us these days. Our email address is livetodiepodcast@gmail.com. As I mentioned before, Ryan's staying really on top of that, and he's doing a wonderful job. If you really, really, really do want to go beyond that, and you absolutely don't have to, you can support us on Patreon. We've got all sorts of things, behind-the-scenes recordings. We're starting to do some like little mini recordings ahead of our big recording days, which is some behind-the-scenes banter and chat, some things we're doing, some like mini book club stuff we have going on, and sharing that with all of you. But one of the big things we do is each month we shout out one of our supporters at the called shot tier or higher. This month, that's 2 people because we missed February, and it just happens to be our random number generator picked 2 huge friends of the show, Matthew Perry and KB Tremblay. Thank you both so much for your support, your longtime listeners, you joining us in the hobby in so many different ways. This show is possible because of you two and all the other people we have supporting us on Patreon. You can check us out at www.patreon.com/livetodiepod. That's patreon.com/livetodiepod. Thank you all for joining us this far. And now, more than ever, be nice, roll dice, and enjoy this episode of Live to Die.
Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
We paused for a second in the last episode when I was getting a couple of miniatures ready for a fight, and Lauren started talking about something, and I was like, "Oh, this is straight fire." Once again, I accidentally I was like, "Lauren, stop talking."
You told the woman to shut up.
Because I was like,
this happens so often.
Because I was like, "This is so good. Save it for the beginning of the next episode." I think we also only explained that in a Patreon episode. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we don't hate women.
I guess if you want to know if we hate women, you have to go on our Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's
We're not going to tell you here.
We'll tell you now.
We've been trying to make it very clear that, like, please participate and be with us in any representation of gender.
Yeah.
But
actually, there's actually enough dudes, so only the women play. There's enough guys playing Pathfinder, right?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
There's plenty.
Just the women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, there's enough men. Eradicate them.
Yeah.
There's enough men, period. There's enough.
There's enough.
But the thing that came up, which was really funny, and I was like, oh, I think the question to start it off, what we should start with is, what is a genre of thing or like a type of story or media that's difficult or has like some extra context for you to engage with because of your own experience? Like, what's something that's hard for you to watch because you're like, that's not how that would be. Lauren, would you like to kick us off with sort of the story, if you don't mind sharing the story you were telling?
It was just, I started watching Mythic Quest on Apple TV recently.
Amazing.
And it was amazing. We got into it because I just finished the Nazi episode, which is just sad now. Like, I don't know, maybe it was more funny back in 2020, but now it's just sad. And it was just funny, like the things that they do, they kind of combine certain roles in game development into like one person, which is understandable. You can't have like a million characters and a million things, but it is a little weird when they're like, oh yeah, the engineering lead just adjusts these animations, or the community manager is doing PR management. And
I do think that Sue gets stuck in the basement just like for everything because they don't know what she does.
Yeah.
And I almost think that the Poppy doing everything is intentional because that's the kind of person that she is.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But you make a good point. And
Yeah,
that's something
I will
I
say
never thought
it's-
about. Like, she would tell a programmer to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do it. She would talk to an animator. She would talk to a
But-
VFX artist. She wouldn't just.
You'll find out the programmers are fucking...
Also, oh my God, the programmers way too well dressed. They're all
yeah.
like wearing slacks
Yeah.
and sweaters. And I'm like, I've never seen anyone wear that to an
No,
office.
let alone
Michelle's the
shower.
best- Michelle's the best programmer. She's fucking hilarious.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That actress
so
that plays, she's genius.
it's
But-
definitely not like unwatchable. It's still like very funny and interesting, but there are parts where
That's so
I'm
funny.
sitting there and
Those
I'm like,
details is really interesting because I think it's one of my favorite shows that's come
Yeah.
out in the last 5
And-
years. It's so funny, but I'd never even thought of.
You'll
And I
ruin it.
imagine it's just condensing characters because
Yeah.
if you had to pay,
I can't watch it now.
yeah, it's
Oh.
over. Yeah,
Also, all the programmers only have one screen. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
also ridiculously unrealistic. Everybody has two screens.
Well, yeah, because if you don't mind me like saying it, and we can cut this out, but were you saying that like you and your partner both whole times watching, you're like, there's no way they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you both come from and work in games, right?
Yes.
If you don't mind me, like, you know, we'll leave some anonymity of what, but like you
Her
both come from
address
game
is-
background.
Yep.
Yes, we both work in game development. We're both producers, so we're on the project management side. And it's also very funny to see an executive producer. It's so relatable. So, he just wants to cry all the time. And we're like, yeah, exactly.
So the David part is really accurate.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah,
Dude, I
this
love
part
David.
isn't really accurate, but David's character is actually
Yeah,
super spot on.
100%.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm in charge. Yeah, no, you're
Choosing
not.
between mommy and daddy, just
Yeah.
Love
that
it.
hit
Yeah.
different.
I was
Love
like
it.
standing in the conference room, like looking at it. It's
Mm-hmm.
funny. You guys got to watch that show.
I will say it's part of the things I always like to talk about is because I was talking to someone just last night about like how I met all of you, and it was through a video game comment at like a meetup in Denver when people are like, oh, what games? And Jane's like, oh, like I don't really play video games, but I like Nancy Drew. And someone was like, I don't know if that counts. And Laura was just like, that fucking counts.
Yes.
And started chatting with us. And yeah. Okay.
Love
Anyone else? Any types of media that sort of, I know Ryan and Jason probably have an easy go-to. that
Yeah.
we've
Ryan's
mentioned
got
before.
a different one.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason. Can you start and I'll follow up with mine?
Fucking submarines. There's not a good submarine movie. The most popular is probably Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide or Humphrey Red October?
Humphrey Red
Yeah.
October.
Humphrey
Yeah.
Red October's better. That one is like one of those. It's like I can fucking watch this because it's fun.
Yeah.
Crimson Tide's unwatchable.
Yeah, it's
What's
terrible.
the one with Gene Hackman?
Crimson
Crimson
Tide.
Tide.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Unfucking watchable. When the supply officer, starts yelling at people on the bus, I would have
Dude.
beat that Chop's.
I would have slapped the fucking Chop's face.
I would have yanked him out of that
Yeah.
bus seat and been like, "You do push-ups, motherfucker."
We're going to Periscope Depth once
Yeah,
in the Chop, who's like the
in charge of the con.
No, he's not in charge of the con.
Junior
He was
officer
the
of the
contact
watch?
coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Does anyone here speak and can translate
Yeah.
this for
Yeah,
us?
no,
This
I
is the
have no
French
idea
all
what's
over
He
going
again.
is
on.
in charge of like
Gaining new contacts.
gaining new contacts and managing them, and then giving the pertinent stuff to the officer of the deck so that he can
Sure,
drive the ship.
sure. Uh-huh.
He walks into sonar and says, "I think there's something," and I like lost my shit. And I freaking get the fuck out of here. Like, you just don't come into sonar. If you see something out there, you can call it out there. You do not come in here and call shit. Yeah, like,
Especially if your
Yeah.
job is supply.
yeah. And I remember I lost my shit and I was weak and I was just like shaking. I was so mad that he thought it was okay to walk in there when you're supposed to shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
you know?
There's
yeah.
some submarine chop right now listening to this, and he's just like, his shoulders just dropped.
Yeah.
Aw.
And if you're listening to this, I will come to your house and slap your fucking face. Yeah. You
They're
stay
always
out of
the
sonar.
most junior officer.
Mhm.
But yeah, so submarine movies are just unrealistic. They're not like the military. We're not hardcore.
Mhm.
We all call each other by our first names. Like
Mhm.
it's real chill. And
We're
if
pirates.
the captain brought his dog on board and then it pissed on the floor, I would beat his ass too.
Yes.
Like that was just uncalled for.
Nope. Mm-mm. Hard pass.
The only thing I really hate about Humphrey Red October is that they're shooting in the missile tube, like next to the missile tube silos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
Some things don't react well to bullets.
Yeah, like all of it.
Yeah.
Really just firing a gun inside a submarine is not recommended.
Yeah, it seems dumb.
I think
Yeah.
that happened in one of the Medal of Honor games, too.
Yeah.
And you're like, this
Probably.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So most things that involve submarines are not
Blasting an MP5 in this submarine.
accurate, which I mean, it checks out. It's not like we share what we do very much.
Yeah. Also, if you're a supply officer, I really appreciate everything you do. Like, The boat breaks all the time. Thank you for getting the parts. Just
And coffee and toilet paper are like the most important thing in the world.
we appreciate you.
So it's
I'm not gonna come to your house and fight you.
So it's like prison, coffee, and
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Yeah.
are the biggest
No,
currencies.
yeah.
He's
Those
like,
are the
oh,
two things. If the shop
suddenly
runs out of those, it's
everybody
auto
needs me.
fire.
Yeah.
I've heard a captain threaten, if there's not coffee and toilet paper, you're getting off.
See, that does make me slightly like, because a series I already liked, but one of my favorite things in The Expanse is how much it's just like the running bit that all Holden wants is just a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I would say Expanse is the most accurate submarine show that there is.
The Expanse does a very good job.
It's a very good
Mhm.
job of what it's like to be on a submarine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ryan, what about you? Is it also subs or do you have
no,
another one?
well, we were on the boat together. It's how we met back in 2010. Yeah, 2010.
So like 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Did you hate each other instantly?
He hated
No.
me
Yeah, because I was,
because he was
Yeah.
much higher ranked than I was, and
Ah.
I was
he was a nub, I'm a non-qual.
well, but I was
But
kind
I
of
was walking out of the boat. I rode my bike 17 miles one way to the boat, and he came and
That's the
started
most
talking to me.
Ryan thing.
Oh,
Humble
Fuck,
brag.
man.
Yeah, I used to bike commute in Virginia Beach.
What a nerd.
I
or
didn't.
Newport
I
News,
talked
yeah.
to people I shouldn't talk to in the Navy when I first got there, and
Yeah.
in a way that's like you're too fucking new.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that's what made some people like me, like
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Right.
no, we hung out after that. So mine is like hockey movies.
Oh, okay.
Because
Oh,
typically,
this is like mine too. It's also sport. Like
sports
movies.
stuff. Like
Mm.
typically, like I'll use like the second season of the Mighty Ducks TV show
Okay.
that was on, that came out in the last few years. Like
yeah,
they're
sure.
having practice, and the door to the Zamboni is just open.
Uh-huh.
And like that is so incredibly dangerous to have the door open, because if you're skating per, you fall out, you're gonna fuck your skates up. Or if you fall into the open breezer,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
you're gonna fucking separate your shoulder.
Yeah.
And like just those movies to me, like the stuff like that just really, really makes I'm like a little hot and
Oh,
itchy
okay.
right now.
Is there a
So-
sports movie that
Yeah.
you go away
Um,
with? Or TV? Or
I mean,
anything?
there's more. It's more just like about moments in movies. Like I know that it's cinematic and it's supposed to be like
right.
edge of your seat, and like
But like there's no way a dog could dribble a basketball like
well,
that.
it just looks
You
like
know, like the last-
There's not a rule against it.
the 10 seconds of the end of a
Yeah.
basketball movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awful.
It's like the last
Yeah.
half hour of the movie is
Yeah.
the last 10
well, even
seconds.
like Remember the Titans is a good movie, but like it never looks like they're actually playing a football game.
Right.
Right.
No, in Varsity
I'm-
Blues, they actually played football.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
They were like, put your pads on, go out there. They're like bleeding and hurting for real.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's about the only good.
But like
Part of
Moneyball
that movie.
and like Draft Day, I just like the more analytical ones. I'm just like,
Right,
I love
that's
to,
Draft Day.
I just
to
gotta,
make
like,
jokes about
tongue-
draft day.
I mean, I
Yeah.
like salary cap management, all that sort of thing. I
Right,
kind
right.
of pay attention to those sorts of things. So it's
Mhm.
like conceptually it hits, but you
So-
know,
so
when
many
you get
sports
into the
movies-
specifics, it's a little.
yeah.
So many sports movies are like great men of history,
Yeah.
too. That it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
it's not this one person who
Mhm.
fucking did everything, guys.
Right.
I will say that getting into the details, getting funky is where I know Trent and I have an overlapping one,
Yeah.
which is both of us coming from journalism. Basically, there's a few that do get it pretty well.
Spotlight's really good.
Spotlight's great. So like, that's one of the nice things. There is good
That
representation.
that is what
Mhm.
reporting is like. You just
Well-
show up at somebody's house
Have you guys seen Daredevil? The
and
show?
start asking them
Oh, yeah.
questions.
Is Karen's journey to journalism the worst journey to journalism that exists?
No, the worst journey to journalism that exists is getting a degree and starting working in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's
That's
easy.
true.
Yeah. That's
Being a shitty paralegal to like the most important journalist in the paper.
I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
It's I have a weird like carve out for comic book things. I'm like, it's fucking comic
That's
books.
fair.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
can't stand Karen. That's what I'm here to do.
It's
I'm pro Karen.
Bash Karen.
sometimes we hear people being like, "Yeah, I'm getting my master's in journalism," and we're like, "That
We're like,
don't do that."
We're like, I'm sorry, a graduate degree?
yeah, that is a complete fucking waste of money. Do not do that.
You know they let Trent work at the newspaper for years without any degree,
I
right?
had no formal training in journalism. And
Yeah.
I just sort of went into it, and they were all like, "Okay, that's
love
cool."
it.
yeah.
They pay us less than they pay bartenders. So like,
Yeah,
Some journalism majors like, I'm going to be a supply officer in the Navy. Fuck this.
you know what? But like the nice thing is there's a few that get it right. I mean, the one thing that is unrealistic about, well, I guess it's realistic about Spotlight because now it's a period piece.
yeah.
But I still remember watching Spotlight as a daily news reporter being
Right.
like, what do you mean they worked on one story for this long? Fuck
yeah,
you.
that doesn't happen. I mean, there are some at some major newspapers that still have that.
But still more.
But your local paper does not have an investigative unit. I can guarantee you.
Your local paper probably has 2.5 people left,
Right.
and they write 8 stories a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the other things that I do find get it well. I mean, like the classic one is All the President's Men.
Yeah.
That's a
I
big
haven't
one.
seen that in a while.
A lot of the
Frost Nixon.
a lot of the Sorkin stuff
good.
gets
Yeah.
pretty close with journalists.
Yeah.
However, with Trent and I were just talking about this off air.
Like the newsroom, is that what
Yeah,
that
the
show's
newsroom.
called?
I could
Yeah,
probably-
That was pretty close, but also it's like TV, so it's not what we did. But
my favorite representation of the reporters were the ones like in the West Wing and stuff, because the newsroom was just way too much old man Sorkin being like, well, in retrospect, we totally should have done it this way. And I'm like, fuck you. But people were doing their best.
yeah,
What about The Wire?
The Wire is
season of The
completely
Wire.
accurate.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, The Wire is also
Wow.
written by a journalist.
Season
Okay,
5, I think, is the journalism one,
Yeah.
the newspaper one. Exact. I mean, there really is not a reporter who's like secretly making shit up,
Uh-huh.
but like the push of a new publisher coming in and
Yep.
being like, we're going to produce a fucking award-winning piece, and then they pick like the worst fucking person to lead that effort. That's real.
Yeah, it's. I mean, keep in mind, like that show run by a guy who ran the city desk at the Baltimore Sun for a while,
Yeah,
right?
I think he was like a cop reporter for like 20 years.
He was that,
too.
but then he went on to, I think, be one of the desk editors for a
Yeah.
bit. Anyway, but the one that I always like to point out is actually hilariously accurate to like your town journalism is the Parks and Rec journalism.
yeah,
All of it, like even the TV journalists
Yeah.
in Parks and Rec
Purd.
are comically, you heard, with Purd. Or the Gotcha Girls. This is not Gotcha journalism, but Gotcha Girls, come on out.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
funny.
God. And they're like the hilariously weird beefs between different brands of journalism. Like
I
every type of journalist has
Fucking
judgmental
hate-
thoughts about
I
other type.
fucking hate TV news journalists. I hate them with a burning passion.
Oh, wow.
They are
They're the supply
They're the
officer
worst.
of
Yeah.
journalism.
Chop, it's back on. We're coming to your house.
can I actually tell a story about one of them?
Yeah.
Keep it tight,
I'll,
but yeah.
I'll keep it tight. So I went out to a very much a crime scene for one story that was relatively nearby. And so I show up, I'm talking with people. A guy pulls up in a van. It was a death was included in this. So a guy pulls up in a van and he's like, hey, how are the dogs? So I was like, okay, well, this person knows the people. So I'm talking with him. Another print journalist comes over and just kind of like holds his recorder, doesn't ask questions, being respectful, as you're doing the interview. Fucking TV reporter comes over because he sees now 2 people are interviewing somebody, inserts his mic directly in the person's face. And then the camera crew basically starts edging me out. And he basically just takes over the interview and asks the dumbest fucking questions you could conceive of. It was like, how does this death make you feel? Probably shitty.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
great.
the
Yeah.
next level bullshit that
Right.
they want people that people want to see.
Absolutely.
Yep.
They want the A clip and then some B-roll and then they're fucking out of there.
Yep.
Oh, I hate them so much.
Yeah, Trent and I were both at one point touched. There was a big story. It's the one that I like ended up on national for. That he and I each touched different parts of the story. That basically only this is the real behind the scenes thing. So I'm not going to name names. The general opinion of the 3 or 4 of us who covered this case over its like almost 5 to 10 year history
Yeah.
is that it came back up, went back to trial when it shouldn't have because a TV news reporter was stirring some shit up.
Not fucking
Ooh.
surprised, man.
Yeah, I won't go to the details
Oh,
because
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not,
okay.
That's one of like that's finger pointy enough that I'm specifically not saying the background on it because I have some strong fucking feelings
Oh,
about
man.
that.
That was that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that was some bad stuff. Anyway,
Pause the show. I'm just kidding.
that's the lunch conversation. But you know what? You know what doesn't get in the way?
Hydras, because we wipe those bitches off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was really angry this intro.
Yeah.
You know what? That was a better segue than I come up
Oh,
with.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's the
That's good
guillotine.
stuff.
So let's go back into the world of Galarian. I believe where we left things. You were cutting open a Hydra
Yeah.
Logical and sound.
With a bastard sword
and an axe.
and an axe.
So what I'll say is you take some time. I'm going to say it probably takes half an hour or so for you to really kind of get into it. And you finish it, Laku, what you kind of find, and it's reasons like this that when you were like willing to come in and jump in, Lauren, and you brought Laku, I was like, oh, perfect timing. So you don't find like there's not an alien in there or like a bomb sewed into its chest. It's not a Saw movie.
Oh my god, there's a bomb.
If this Hydra goes below 15 miles an hour, it'll explode.
Arthur is over refocusing, and he has like the thinker pose. Just he's trying to show off a little bit.
In front of the Outdoory twins.
Yeah.
Really flexing that bicep.
Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm praying.
I will say, because like trying to do accents, the idea is you're supposed to like think of a line that you can do and kind of work off of that. Like I always joke that I don't do Nicolas Cage, I do Andy Samberg doing Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And so like the Samberg line from SNL is, "How am I not in that movie? It has every tenet of a classic Nick Cage film."
I never noticed that until now. That is Andy Samberg doing.
Yeah, I can't do Nick Cage. I can do Andy Samberg doing Nick Cage. But like a go-to on like how I would get into like a Middle European German accent is there's an old commercial that I remember from living over there, and it's like a boat's going down. Like, we're sinking, I'm sinking, and this German picks up like the radio and goes, "What are you thinking about?"
I've seen that
good.
before.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's more accurate Navy stuff than the submarine movies.
Yeah.
That's really
What
actually
are you
accurate.
thinking about? So like, what are you thinking about is how I would get into like a
like
bit of it for perhaps these sisters who are a bit more like
Perfect.
Middle European. So that's what that is the thing that I was trying to do. But then I can't go too much into there. Then you're almost anyway. Doesn't matter.
I hear the French coming.
French, yeah. You start to get Southern
It's on the
European.
west side of Germany. They're from the west side of Germany. We're close.
So
Give me the hurdy-gurdy European. Like a Swedish.
all I can do is Swedish Chef.
That's all right.
Board.
So, but what you find is that there are some oddities with what you know of Hydras. Now, I don't know how much Laku knows Hydras or has studied accounts, but a couple of things. You do think that the aggression on this one, like, close enough, that could be something. However, the big things that stand out is that the red and green stripes are not Hydra markings. Like, that's a very uncommon marking for a Hydra. And you do notice odd things. And like you can see as you're kind of working apart that parts of its skeleton have like spurs that are growing off of it, and you wonder if over time bone spurs would have started to emerge.
Sick.
It has some abnormalities that stand out to you.
She whips around and looks at Nikolai. This is definitely a cryptid.
Whoa.
This isn't just a Hydra. Have you ever seen a red and green Hydra? No, cryptid. Bone spurs? Cryptid.
I think we might have
Cryptid.
a Lamashtu problem.
Quiet
Have you
on.
noticed that like the Drake was weird and the Hydra is weird and this other thing we fought, I forgot what was it? It was like 15 minutes ago.
It was
What
a
did we
Hydra and a
fight
Drake.
first?
That's all you
Wyvern.
Oh, we
fought.
fought
Wyvern.
Wyvern. They're all kind of weird. And
Can you
more
be quiet? I'm
aggressive
trying
than
to
normal.
pray.
And more aggressive than normal.
Yes.
That seems
Typical
like something.
cryptid behavior.
Those type of modifications
Mhm.
are popular with Lamashtu.
Pretty sure she's got a cryptids. I'm not big on the
I
lash
don't
too.
think those are real.
Right?
Nikolai
I
looks around.
think you're mistaken.
I think it has
Did
a
you
word.
not see my paper mosquito doll?
The library has been closed, so I didn't get to.
It's in my
read your-
pocket.
Oh, you have your dissertation with you?
What? Of course I take it with me. It's I don't know if it's a good luck charm, but I feel weird leaving it alone.
Nikolai hands it to Arthur to read while he's thinking.
Quiet.
Quiet.
I'm posing here.
Praying so hard right now.
Okay.
More like brang, like a donkey, because he's an ass.
Quiet.
Oh, damn.
God damn.
Brutal.
You know, I expect
I
that
feel so
from
bad.
Junior, but not from you.
Ooh.
Do you all need a little brief recap on the area sitch, as it were?
Sure.
That would be wonderful.
So I thought I'd share with you all a little visual here. If you'll remember, we got this John going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So you
Oh,
all
yeah.
came in, and the barge that you came in on has docked at this little island here. Each square 75 feet, just for some scale.
Okay.
So you've marked on there. You first went to a destroyed hut. Remember, you were all out here because a family
Oh, yeah.
died.
Well,
So
like
it's
everybody
called
else
a
didn't
ruined
go that
shack.
way.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wow.
Shit, dog.
dude.
God damn it.
Nice.
Look at that note
So many
taking.
patches. Those are all going to go to Arthur anyways.
Yeah, they are.
Well, it's because
Those are team support
I
patches.
tease him
Team
and then I get
support.
patches for it.
Yeah,
So I
I
feel
mean,
like I
I'm-
gotta pay him back.
And so you then tracked, because remember you found a pretty destroyed, what was it?
A ruined shack.
Ruined
Thank you,
shack.
A ruined
Mm.
shack. And then you kind of followed to the north, and there are these cliff faces where you
Yeah,
found the
yeah,
wyvern. You found some of the bodies from that family that were uneaten as well. The weird bear, the flowers.
Did they have the flowers come out of them, the people?
The people? You don't think so.
Okay.
And then you went to this clearing, you went back down to this clearing, which was just north of where the barge was parked, and that's where you met up with the Aldori sisters, fought the Hydra.
Okay.
You know that there was kind of two other main things you were aware of. A little bit to the east is where Anamede, the woman from Pitax, had gone to, and then generally up the river was where a lot of the rest of the group went to hunt the
Yeah.
remaining creature,
Yeah.
the crocodile eater or whatever the fuck it's called. I'll give you a quick little redescription of that now that you've kind of seen it for yourself, because I think it's valuable. From your starting point at the south of the hunting grounds, you can see the ruined shack to the west, cliff sides to the northwest, a rise to the north that dips down into some sort of obscured hollow, an escarpment on the shores on the river's eastern shores. Yeah.
Found it. It's called a Kruth.
Yep.
That's the crocodile
Yeah,
eater
right.
thing.
So the Aldori sisters headed directly north. The three rangers Yamal brought, they headed up along the northern bank of the river to the northeast. Yamal stayed on the barge, and Anamede headed over towards the escarpment.
But we think there's like 3 other areas, but aside from the Kruth.
The Kruth is somewhere up the river. Basically, the landmarks that you've seen is there's some sort of valley or ravine to the north of you.
Yeah.
There's the escarpment where Anamede went.
Oh, I thought we were
But
in
there's
that.
like the water to our east, right?
The river runs east. The river
Yeah.
runs from sort of. God damn
Nice.
it.
Nice.
No
Oh,
bash.
wow.
We're pointing to give him a pass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The river runs from west to east before it sort of carves north.
Yeah.
You're north of the more like east-west part of the river
Okay.
now in a hollow. The escarpment's to the east. And from the cliff face, you saw that further up north, there's like a tributary, or maybe not tributary, what's it called when a river splits off? A smaller
Fort?
part of it. Yeah, but there's a name for like one of the smaller rivers that's fed by a larger river. Not
Tributary?
Is a tributary one that's fed by? I thought it's one that feeds into because it tributes.
We're gonna have to look now.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Nice. Take
Yeah.
a patch.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's kind of so the landmarks you're still aware of is further upriver where the Kruth might be, and then wherever this thing was, even north of the cliffs where you fought the wyvern.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is that like we could go straight or like maybe southeast to sort of where the river bends,
Yeah,
and there's still something straight north of us,
yeah, that's where the Rangers went.
and then there's something to the northwest.
Yeah,
like
there's-
above the cliffs.
Yeah,
North of the
from the
cliffs.
cliffs you could kind of see a little more from the cliffs, which is at the western
Mhm.
edge of this hunting
Yeah.
region. To the north of you, it did look like there was a river that, and like I said, I can't actually. No, fuck. Thinking about it, that probably is a tributary because water flows downhill.
Yeah, if it's into its tributary, if
That's
not,
true.
it's called.
So it is a tributary. So it's flowing east to west because it's flowing from the mountains at the east. So it is a smaller tributary into that river,
We
and
can
it
head
looks
toward
like
the confluence.
Well,
Yeah.
Confluence?
That's where the tributary and the main river meet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's one just
north.
east of here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there is sort of some headwaters of the smaller tributary river north of where the wyvern was that you could see,
This is just,
and then
we're just telling everyone the different types and parts of lakes and rivers.
Yeah.
No,
I love the term headwaters because we had this columnist actually at the paper who wrote
Yeah.
one called Headwaters and Home Waters.
it's a good name.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Look, if you work as a journalist in like Colorado, you learn a lot of natural and river titles.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially because when I used to work up in the mountains, like Salida was the headwaters of the Arkansas and all that.
They're all very proud of their relation to a river.
Yeah, I mean anyway. You get a lot into that.
Yeah.
So from the western viewpoint, vantage, you had at this point probably about an hour and a half ago,
Okay.
maybe 2 hours ago. You saw the headwaters with maybe some sort of like waterfall and cliff rocky area to the north of you. To the northeast of there you did see some sort of field and opening to the north of the tributary.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you went east from there. You had the confluence of the two rivers and the main river kind of heading upstream to the northeast, where the Rangers would have been going after the Cruz.
Should we go like
Boom! Look at all those terms.
should we
Boy
go
Scouts.
straight east to the river and just follow it up?
Yeah.
I like it.
Rather
you
than
head back
cutting
down,
through
Because
the
if you've seen
forest.
Jurassic Park, this one of them. That's where the big monsters are.
Yeah,
near
Of
the
course,
water.
of course.
Mm.
All right.
Are the Aldori sisters still with us, or did they go off on their own?
They've headed back down to Jamal to sort of like you got patched up and they're gonna kind of go like rest it out.
Okay.
They got moderately fucked
Nikolai
up and don't
puts a
have a
hand-
healer.
Puts a hand on Arthur's shoulder and he's like, I'm sorry they left.
Bye. I'll see you later. Right?
Once again, as they're both walking away, and you can't quite tell which one said it. Perhaps.
Son of a bitch. Roll a
I'm gonna
perception.
have to get their scroll. Their scroll number.
I love it.
Their arcane signature.
Yeah.
Isn't that a thing? Like
Sigil.
Arcane sigil. That's it. You know what?
Yeah, that is a patch.
I play casters every game.
I know.
Ooh,
It's endearing.
I hit the can.
I know. That was made a nice little ding.
Yeah.
So you work your way back down to the river. We're probably getting into late morning, right? It started at sunrise.
Yeah, what's the
You made it.
timetable?
You
I
have 24
forget.
hours.
24 hours. Okay.
And you
Mhm.
you left at sunrise, you came up here, so you're probably midday, and we're in the like winter months, so the days aren't super long. It's a bit cold. Remember we've talked about how like climate-wise, we're talking northeast Europe sort of climate. Breadbasket, Ukraine, sort
Yeah.
of.
So cold as shit.
Yeah, you're all bundled up, and you're even like near a pretty moderate size. I mean, like, fuck, let's look at this map again and check that river. This is a river that's easily 100 feet across at the narrower areas.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucking cold. So you're working your way up this river. You can see as you go past it a little bit of that aforementioned escarpment, which I did have to look up what that meant, but it's just an overhang of rock basically on the river.
What is the weather like today?
We rolled this earlier. It's a little foggy and misty. Like it's threatening to rain at some point, but isn't raining.
Okay.
So there's sun shining through, but it's cold. So like I imagine all of you are pretty bundled up.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
poofy.
We can all
That's
huddle
right.
And all
around
the
my
feathers
sword.
are just.
Just sort of like.
I
for
kind of
heat.
giggled when we were in that like nest
Mhm.
because I imagined you coming out of the water and like shaking yourself.
You can, as you kind of go by, you get a look at that escarpment. It's like a large slab of granite looming above relatively placid waters because there's a little bit of an eddy that it's sort of above on the edge of the river. I mean, the whole river is not white water at this point. It's a
Yeah.
slower river. It's the Gudrun River specifically. But you can see its surface seems relatively flat. Yeah, maybe a 30-foot drop from the absolute like northwesternmost edge of it because it's on the southeast corner of the river.
There's a
Mhm.
troll standing on top of it for sure.
And he's just like, oh.
You can see
He
a
knows
couple.
exactly
you can
what I'm
see
talking about.
a couple of shapes up there, but you can't get a good look at it from here.
I also want to switch my Pursue lead from the Hydra to the Kruth.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
And you're keeping the other one on the
On the flowers, yeah.
whatever the fuck the flowers are.
Mhm.
All right, I'm cool with that. Yeah, so you work your way up 100, 150 feet. You do get a better look to the north than you can kind of make out. I mean, that's what, 50? Yeah, you're looking at like a couple hundred. I mean, how many? 300 feet for a football field,
Yep.
right?
Mm.
So
Mhm.
that's
How many yards are in a mile? Nobody knows.
1760.
I know.
Wow,
Yeah.
two
You're
of
just-
us know that.
Damn. I didn't know.
1760.
Yeah, 1760.
It was that's
5280.
another SNL
280.
joke.
oh the Naper Gotzi.
Yeah. yeah,
Yeah,
neighbor
No one
got it.
knows.
And then
Nobody knows.
1600 meters.
What it's
Oh,
what
I
about
see. I
the
didn't know that
slaves?
one.
You're gonna free the slaves. So you're asking about
Yeah, about
measure
temperature.
temperature, right?
Temperature, right? Yeah.
What about
No.
nautical mile?
2,000
Oh,
yards.
yeah.
Ooh.
Relatively.
Damn.
So this is, you kind of turn the corner and you get a look up ahead. And what you're able to see is like 5 to 6 football fields of length up to the north before you can kind of maybe make out, like those of you with the best eyes. So like Laku, you've got a phenomenal perception check, and I believe so do you, Aaron. You can kind of make out figures along the river in the distance up to the north. That may be the Rangers, but you can't clearly see. Yeah, we're talking, what at that point? You're gonna be close to 1,000 yards, a little bit
Yeah,
more,
let's keep moving that
1,000
way.
plus yards.
I have a question
Yeah.
for the group
Sure.
as Red.
Yes,
Mhm.
Red.
What do you think those other people were looking for? You know, the lady with the string instrument.
Oh yeah.
They didn't go look for any of
Ganymede?
these things, did they?
I mean, they ran off, but
Maybe
they didn't. I think they just picked a
Ganymede-
direction just like we did, right?
Ganymede headed east.
Well, I don't know. It seemed like the Rangers knew where they were going.
maybe she was looking for a sick venue.
Well, I just wonder if maybe they're here for something else. That's all.
Mm.
Oh.
Like these.
this is Sakura?
Well, maybe like these flower things. Maybe they're looking into that.
Hmm.
I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. Yes, we
It's a
should be
good thought.
suspicious.
Yeah, these flowers aren't anything that was
I
described.
mean, they
to
weren't
us.
very like friendly folk, you know. So
Yeah.
I
I
just
mean,
think
also
that,
she's a bard of some kind.
yeah, she
I
doesn't
assume
seem like the hunting
so.
type either.
It's weird to be I mean, she has the 2 bodyguards, but
Did you
What
say
does a bard-
Bardyguards?
no, I didn't.
Bodyguards?
But I
Bardyguards.
should.
She should have.
That's amazing.
That is pretty great.
Yeah.
I've
Oh
never
no,
had
that's
this.
to him.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
That's right.
Okay.
I've never had this many patches before in my life.
Yeah, when you first started, you had like 5 that one time, but you gave
Yeah.
them all to Trent.
Gave them all a Trent.
Of course.
The way you should.
Anyways, we can keep going. I just thought I'd ask.
Yes,
That's
We gotta
a
go-
really interesting thought.
something to think about.
Do we want to head towards these figures or do we want to go somewhere else? We want to save 2 people in one day? 2 groups in one day?
Well,
Kill
I
steal.
mean, did we already win by killing 2 things?
I mean,
don't
I
really
feel like
know.
we
don't
did,
know.
but
wasn't there a point system or something?
I think there's also other things we could
Yeah,
find.
There's some bonus
potentially.
things too.
So do we
should
want
probably-
to change our plans and sort of head to where the Rangers were initially, or?
The way you
Or-
were going, the figures up to the north, you suspect were the direction
Oh,
the
okay.
Rangers were going. You also may have seen a couple of figures on that escarpment on the other side of the river.
On the
Oh, yeah.
escarpment.
on the
You
escarpment?
can
Yeah,
barely
that's why
make
I
out
said
like
the trolls
someone
were
or
up there.
something up there.
oh, I thought these were the same people.
Because we're like
Nope.
following
So-
this river north.
Yeah.
Right?
And so you're at the river where it bends to the north. And you can kind of see
Gotcha.
on the east side of that river, the escarpment, you maybe see some motion up there.
Oh.
And then way farther to the north, you do see that's where several football fields away to the
Oh.
north, where the river is bent to the
So
north.
do we want to try and cross the river then?
Yeah. Let's
Was
cross-
there
I
an
think we
easy way
crossed
to
the
do
river.
that?
I mean, you could just try to go across. You also could go down to where Yamel is parked in the barge and see if he'd be willing to just pop you across.
Hmm.
Because it's not a very busy river. You have a moderate sized barge. He could easily ferry you across.
What river is it?
The Gudrun River.
Gudrun.
Yeah, it runs all the way to the
Not
mountains to
one
the
of
But
ours.
east.
how long would it take us to get back over to him?
I mean, you are like 500 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this whole region isn't huge. Like we're talking, like the big measurement is like 3 to 4 football fields.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll
yeah,
go down there
let's-
and get a ride over to the other side.
So now
Yeah.
you're down on the southern, which becomes the eastern edge of the river.
Which we assume nobody else has done too, right? So
maybe.
I feel like if we go across the river, we're going to find Ganymede, which might be more interesting than the Rangers, who are obviously going after the Kruth.
yeah.
I like that idea.
Sure.
So yeah,
Sure.
work your way across, cross over. You start working your way back up towards that escarpment. Now now you're on the same side of the river, which would be like I said, south and or southeastern, where it kind of bends to a northernly direction.
I know that wind coming off the water is cold as fuck.
Oh yeah. And it is it's not a strong wind today, but it's just enough. We're like, yeah, you're all wrapped in these cloaks. You can kind of hear the crunch of the like leaves and
Is-
grass around you.
The
Laco
river
gets-
frozen?
No, it is frozen in some of the eddies where it slows down a little more.
Laku gets like right up behind Red to use him as a windbreak.
Yeah, Red's actually a glacier cavern minotaur, so he's resistant to.
That
You're a snow cow?
rules.
Yeah.
It's like he's like a
No
Highland
cow.
cow.
He's like a Highland cow. He's from the Underdark. I'm sure it's very cold
That
down there.
you are a Highland.
You're in like the
That's
depths
right.
of the Underdark where it's like
So
some
he probably
icy
looks
cavern.
pretty unbothered,
Yeah.
and he's probably pretty warm. So
Just slowly
That's
getting
awesome.
closer to him, like,
Nikolai
oh.
shows you his coyote cloak and he's like, this keeps me pretty warm.
yeah, it's pretty neat.
So as
I
you
found
work your, as you work your way up, you
Cool.
feel like you could try to climb the face of the escarpment, or you could just kind of work your way up from the slopes around the back edge.
Let's fucking climb.
Let's fucking climb it.
Let's do it.
Wait, are all of you seriously going to climb it instead of walking up?
I have to check if I still
He's
have
lead
that.
Oh,
climber,
I may not have it anymore.
How high is the escarpment?
and I'm
30
not
feet?
lucky, so I can climb.
You guys can climb. I have a
Jump.
trusty scroll of jump.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
You also
So-
could just walk up. You
Can
go
we-
15 feet to the right and walk up.
can
Can-
the
can I
bird
walk up?
fly up there?
So we
I
can climb
can
or
only
use the scroll
fly-
of jump, right?
I can only
That's
fly
those
for
are
like
the
20 feet
choices.
at a time.
Ah,
How high up is it?
30 feet.
So stand on my shoulders.
Yeah, I'll
It's like 10
walk up.
feet.
Nikolai and Jonas watched Arthur start going up and shrug and just
Yeah, we
go
walk around.
There's like a
up the
path
walkway.
around.
There kind of is. Give me a climb check, though.
I'm climbing
okay.
with Arthur.
Okay, Red and Arthur, give me climb
And
check.
this is athletics, right?
Yeah, and then Laku, do you take the like hand
Yeah,
lift
yeah.
flight?
I'll take the
So like
lift me 10 feet up, and then I can fly the rest.
So I imagine it's like dun dun dun. You know, Red picks up Laku, kind of like punts you up. You fly the rest. Arthur's jumping up, lead climbing, while Nikolai and Jonas watch it. Walk 15 feet to the right. Walk up the slope.
And help,
that's a
and help
26.
Laku
You make it.
get over the edge.
22.
You make it, and you flap up.
I imagine though that she like runs towards Red, and
Yeah.
then Red throws her up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's like
like
it's
a
like a
vault.
cheerleader like
Yeah.
stunt where
Yep.
I like put my hands down and just like launch
it's
launch her
halfway.
into the air.
It's halfway between the cheerleading launch and like the X-Men's fastball special.
Yeah.
I imagine
Nice.
too, it's like very frantic flapping. Like this isn't a nice takeoff or
Yeah,
anything.
it's like a chicken trying to fly. It's like lots of
Exactly.
flapping.
And what you do is you get up there and you kind of land. You're the first one up there, Laku, and instantly you see those two toughs, the two bodyguards.
Oh,
Bardyguards.
Bodyguards.
Bardyguards.
You were right.
Bodyguards.
And they look over at you like startled because you just flapped up out of nowhere. Like as you said, probably not gracefully, just like and you kind of like get your
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
just kind of land, and I'm like, oh, hey.
And you look over and you can see that they have like built a wooden frame, like collapsible wooden frame for a hammock. And there's like a standing table put up next. And Anamede is just lounging back there. And you see that like a small spread of like cheese and wine and fruit. She's got like a couple of heavy furs pulled over her for warmth.
Damn.
She literally has a book on her lap as you
straight
flap up there.
chilling.
And she
What?
just sees you and goes, oh, I guess, hello?
Hey, we just wanted to make sure you didn't need any help.
We?
She like looks back
Arthur,
down
Arthur,
behind
like,
her.
head comes up.
Yeah, just as that. Oh, how, charming. No, I'm pretty well taken care of.
I can see. I can
Oh, we
see.
weren't worried about that.
No,
I suppose if it's with the two of you, I guess, like,
Hey, help me up
Something to
real quick.
go-
Oh yeah. She like reaches down.
Oh,
and
thank
pulls
you,
in.
thank you.
she's like, it's like a spacious pouch full of people over there.
Oh, there's
Oh,
two
wow.
more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the whole rural party's here.
we helped the
Did she-
Eldori sisters. They
Did she
were
mean that?
Was
They
that
were-
an insult?
I don't know.
Yeah. Did
they
she
were
mean
fighting
that?
a Hydra and got pretty beat up, but they're doing okay now. And we just figured we'd see what else was going on.
Why would you fight a Hydra?
Have you?
We're on a hunt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you guys gotten anything, or you just?
Yeah, did you find anything cool?
Someone give me a diplomacy check.
I got you.
Someone who said something.
Yeah,
Use
badge.
your,
Secure
I'll
your
say-
badge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Use
got
the
you.
badge.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't participating in this game?
And if you remember, like, you did make a
Can I
little
aid?
headway with her. Yeah, you can make an aid. You made a little headway with her at the end. Not a ton, but you did make some.
I made it worse.
I sing a song.
A dirty 20 exactly.
Dang.
All
For
right.
that should aid, right?
And then that's
Yeah.
a +1. Yep.
30.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's awesome.
Are you a
You're-
hot sorcerer?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay, good.
He never
A
wears,
lot of them
he also
that's
never
how
wears
it
a
works.
shirt.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Justin Thoreau from the Leftovers.
Do you have
Or-
like
I don't know
salt and
that
pepper
one.
hair?
You're Justin Thoreau from
The Charlie's
Fucking-
Angels.
no. God damn it, the stupid adventure movie that we like to watch. Your Highness.
Oh,
I don't know who
it's
Magic, motherfucker.
who is Justin Thoreau.
Justin
I'm pulling
Thoreau.
up a
Oh
picture.
man,
He's good.
Must be a cousin of.
I'm
Justin
like
Trudeau.
season
There
3
you go.
of The Leftovers. Justin Thoreau.
Can I see?
Damn.
Oh, okay, yeah. And she like, to be honest, I have no intention of hunting anything other than a good story and an opportunity to take a break.
Oh,
Good story, huh?
Well-
What you writing about if you're just sitting in it hammock.
Also, then why are you here?
There are times when it's nice to have a break from home.
This is what I'm thinking
Oh.
right here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a hottie.
Looks like Chris Evans.
It's a
Kinda does.
Yeah.
look, chance to go on a state-paid trip, see a little bit of the region, bring back a tale or two. I have no need to prove my qualities or enough care to try to prove the value of Pitax here. Not that any of you would be able to compare to an actual city, but while I'm here, I'm going to read. I'm going to see what's around and, I don't know, just take a break.
Did she say state paid? Lucky would hate this.
Yeah, not approved.
Yeah.
No per diem.
Yeah. Your reimbursement has been denied.
Keep your receipts.
Yeah, imagine Lucky's per diem's like, I mean, look, if you're willing to go to a slop house, 2 copper a week should cover
Yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah, she just says, I just, I said, I'm mostly, I guess, oh, it's a bit of a vacation for me.
Wow, you're boring.
Yeah, Nikolai like shrugs his shoulders and he walks through her camp to leave.
Oh,
But
But
nice.
he stops by the table and grabs like a couple grapes and
Yeah.
a piece of meat.
And she kind
Damn.
of stops for a second because I think you made
Okay.
a little bit of headway.
Okay.
It goes better with this. And she hands you like a piece of a pretty strong cheese.
Oh.
She's like,
Oh, shit.
please join for a minute to tell me about the Hydra fight. And she's like, has her book out. And she knows that it's partially reading and she does have like open pages and a quill.
Nikolai's like,
Who's the one that did the boss
Yeah, I kicked its ass.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
real
don't
good.
forget Red. He charged in
Oh,
valiantly.
I didn't do much. This time.
Valiantly.
That's not true. He did something really cool. And then my friend over here, the wizard looking, the very handsome man, he made me fast, and then I ran in and I like stomped on it, and then I stabbed it and it died.
Yeah, Arthur did just such a great job.
You want to hear something funny though?
Sure.
Them twins were there, and my friend here, he slept with one of them last night,
Oh.
and he doesn't remember which one it was.
Nikolai like raises his eyebrows at
Yeah,
her
it's
and
real
shakes
funny.
his head.
Do you
And then I like
remember?
stuff a mouthful of food in my mouth, and I'm like,
Did you
throwing
write
up.
it in your book?
Do you
Like who left?
Do you know which
Yeah,
one it
did you
was?
get like vibes
With
from
me?
one of them?
So I need 2 things. Ryan, give me either a performance or diplomacy to be charming. And then I'm going to need specifically a diplomacy from you, Arthur, to see what she
I'm
says.
untrained. Can I use
Can I aid
courtly
him
graces?
Oh.
Yes, you can.
Courtly Grace is a perfect one for this.
This would be wonderful for yeah.
She 100% would actually respect that more, and I'll have that lower the DC just
Okay.
a touch.
I'm gonna spend a second patch to roll a 4 back to back.
Let's
So this
go.
is why I don't mind giving Ryan patches. He blows them
There you
on
go, there you go.
diplomacy rules
I
for
love it.
peripheral NPCs.
27.
Just making sure I don't have anything.
Worth it.
And she does crack up a little bit at that, and she sort of. But then she also like gives Arthur this like, well,
You're not gonna help us, are you? I'm trying
Well,
to be a
let's see.
wingman for my friend here.
So am I taking like +2?
no. Just roll whatever it says for you for diplomacy.
I think I also have the badge though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which is
are
also
you
plus
calling
one.
in your diplomat's
Oh,
Oh,
badge?
then that would
yeah.
have been a 28. Oh no, it's already factored in here.
Isn't that how he like wooed her? Like, I'm an important person.
No, he wooed her by being athletic
Oh,
as
okay.
Super
fuck.
strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
In my head, Arthur is just canonically the guy who plays Reacher.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So with like a +2,
Uh-huh.
that's a 23.
Wow.
And she just... Well, I suppose I could, as I take my time here, look back through my
Oh my
notes
God.
from the evening.
That would help me so much.
But you'll owe me one.
Oh, okay.
And I reserve the right to make fun at your expense.
I actually encourage that.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind.
And you see, like, kind of for the first time, she is, like, opening up a little.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
It's pretty difficult for me to feel shame or guilt, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Do you want some meat?
And
I
she still
killed a
does...
Hydra.
and she still does throw, like, kind of backhanded compliments. She's like, I imagine that's useful for you.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we should probably eat that Hydra. Probably had things bursting out of its chest. I don't know. You know,
Nikolai chews his
probably
food
not
up.
good to eat.
I had peanut butter in it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, do you know anything about these flowers that, I don't know, seems like something crazy going on with them?
Flowers?
seemingly from maybe the first world. They have a supernatural air to them, and maybe I just describe, like, I think they were like a small white flower. I don't remember.
No, it doesn't sound like anything I'm aware of. I'll be honest, this whole frontier area is so untamed that it all seems honestly bothersome to even just live out here, when it seems like everything breathing or growing is trying to kill you.
Yeah, but doesn't that make for good stories?
I don't know. Perhaps ones to hear, but not to live. Who'd choose a life like this?
Do you have anything to drink?
I like it.
Oh, yes. And she actually does pour you like a nice little bit of what she's like, do you have a glass? Do you have a glass?
Nikolai pulls a goblet out of his pack.
I suppose alcohol sanitizes and pours a little in there. Like not a. When I say a little, I don't mean like an insulting amount. Like a good pour.
I would imagine she pours it. Nikolai
From a
swirls it,
wineskin.
smells it. At least I'll have some.
Oh, hints of maple.
It's very fruit forward.
She doesn't offer it red any, but he's like, no, I'm okay. I got cider.
Aw,
We're fine.
Well,
She has a cidery.
I do.
oh, how quaint.
Yeah, it is
For
kind
our
of
listeners,
Every
Lauren
time-
just gave me this phenomenal like anger squint.
Every time she's mean, I eat more of her food.
Good.
Could I get that name, by the way?
No, I'll get to it
From your
later. I'm not in a
notes,
rush.
or-
I kind of.
It's it's a tad gauche to be in a rush.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
I think gauche
I
is
believe
like
that.
a paint style.
I thought it was like cheese.
Van Gogh.
All right. So, what do you all want to do?
Leave.
So
Yeah, I guess we're
looking at the
gonna-
bodyguards,
Mhm.
like just really giving a
Yeah.
quick once over.
Like a good
It-
up down?
Oh, that's
It
who I
really
asked for the
seems
drink.
like they're at ease and they're not.
Yeah.
They're keeping an eye out. Like they're
Yeah.
not so much stressed by you at this point. But
Okay.
like, you know,
Okay.
they're in the wilderness and there's hydras and wyverns around.
Yeah.
So like it'd be bad if this state representative of the state, even in an informal one, was killed on this mission.
Are
Okay.
they like hired henchmen for this thing, or do we get the vibes that? I'll ask her that. Are these like your regular bodyguards?
Oh no, I wouldn't hire anything local. I brought these with me.
Oh.
Would you? Can we arm wrestle one of them?
No, they're
Again.
working.
This is
And
boring.
that already happened. Well, you're welcome to leave. You're the one who climbed up here.
True.
We can go.
Why,
We
by
can
the
go
way?
find the Kruth. It's fine.
Oh, we were
It's-
just gonna look over here for like monsters and stuff to
No,
kill.
no, why did you climb?
Oh, because I like climbing.
Yeah, climbing's
I do it in
nice.
my spare time, you know.
You really don't get embarrassed
Nikolai's
by the
like, I've
dumbest
never
things.
seen you climb.
Shut up.
It's amazing to me. You really do not get embarrassed.
Oh no, I really don't.
He doesn't. You know, most people have feelings. He's low on the feelings
Spectrum.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Welp. And she slaps her hands.
Could you?
I believe your local custom says that you have to leave now when I do this.
Could you
Welp.
could you maybe like play us a song or something?
I'm not taking requests. This is my time off.
Oh, okay.
Could you maybe point us in a direction
like
you ain't
music?
seen anybody else go?
Wait, I thought we wanted to go find the rest of the Rangers. 'Cause-
Do
ask that to the toughs?
Oh, we can find some
yeah.
other things.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, tough Bardyguards. Could you
Yeah.
guys have you guys seen anything, any movement that isn't from our party around? Do you
No.
want
No.
me to?
No, sure.
I'll just roll it for fun. It's not good.
Oof.
It's real
Oh.
bad, actually.
No,
No.
we're not saying shit.
All right. Well.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Just all you. Just a bird flapped up here, and a minotaur climbed up the side
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that did happen.
with the Tin Man.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot at the Minotaur. That's like lucky as well. Not.
Glad they didn't
You're
shoot
not
me.
lucky,
The
But
bird
they-
came first.
That's
They
true.
also saw us when
Yeah,
we were
they-
on the boat together.
There was like 15 people at dinner last night.
Yeah.
You all know each
Yeah.
other.
Listen, if a Minotaur climbed up, Nikolai would be like, "What the fuck?"
It's pretty racist.
Well, it happened.
tune into the Patreon to
I
find
just
out if we
watched-
like Minotaurs.
I just watched a Minotaur like fuck up a Hydra. So
yeah,
Yeah, and then everyone else
valid.
watched a human destroy it.
real bad.
yeah, but we know
Mhm.
Arthur is insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, where do you want to go
He's
from here?
are insane.
Can we like check the area for
Yeah, you want to make some perception, Jones?
maybe
Yep.
some
Yeah.
some trick,
Or some survival.
tracks, not tricks? Arthur's
Some
looking
tricks.
for tricks. But
Hey.
Looking for
Boom. No. Nope.
What?
Oh, I just got another text from Jane.
Saying that you're on the watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. What's
What's
everyone's
sense motive? Is that
perception?
perception.
Yeah. Do you want to do
I
that
want to do that for her
for Animede?
enemy.
What's your bonus? 12?
15.
15. Jesus fuck. She's coming across like pretty honest. She's like there's parts that are kind of nice. You don't know honesty. She seems comfortable. It's just that her comfortable is still a bit of an asshole.
She's
Right. It
such
seems
a
like
haughty
she is out here to
witch.
relax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she really is just taking advantage of this to kind of come out. So you're doing that. Who else is sort of looking around to see if they see anything? All right, what's your bonus?
If I take my time, it's plus 13.
All right, plus 13's not bad, I suppose. Like,
And
if
I'm
you're
an
into
expert.
that.
If that helps.
Can I use survival?
Yeah, I'll let you use survival.
With a plus 10?
And what was your bonus?
Plus 13.
Okay. Plus 10 for survival. Okay. Anyone else looking, checking shit out?
Yeah,
Nope.
sure.
We
I'll look
find
around
Minotaur tracks.
for plus
Yeah.
14.
So, you do see some tracks to the north of here, which Arthur and Jonas, you do see some shapes move because you have a little bit of a higher advantage. You can
Mhm.
see some sort of shapes in the woods to the north of here.
There's going to be
Do they
murlocs.
coincide? Do they coincide with the tracks that he found?
Um.
Or the movement and the tracks kind of the same? I mean,
So the-
Jonas, for the fact of the game,
mhm.
kind of wants to go where people aren't.
Mm.
Yeah.
If that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
find something cool.
I want to
and
find
secret.
something cool. Like we're already up to nothing, but I like to run up the score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't want to be uncouth.
Yeah. Wow.
That's your
No,
second try.
that was-
No,
Oh, come on.
no.
No,
Damn it.
You actually still have to give him a patch back.
So yeah, you do notice there are some. It's all sorts of different animals, but you do notice there are a couple of tracks that look like lupine that are pretty decent in size. Yeah, and you do see some movements to the north. You're not sure, but you could go check that out if you wanted to.
I think we should go to the north.
Let's do it.
All right.
I found tracks.
Mm-hmm.
They go north.
That's fun.
Lupin is flowery, right?
Lupine
Lupine?
is dog-like.
Doggy.
Wolf-like, actually.
Oh, man.
So you work your way north.
No, lupine is plant.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Lupine. L-U-P-I-N-E, right?
Does that mean wolf-like?
Lupinus-
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was.
I thought it was
Lupinus is
dog-like.
plant,
Yeah.
Dog-like,
a
too.
flowering plant.
Isn't that the
Is there also a plant?
like the
Hold on.
genus of dog?
Oh,
I think
there's both. Oh,
without the
lupine.
E.
Lupine with the E is
Yeah.
a type of flower. Lupin with an N.
hmm
I don't know. You probably
Nope.
pronounce it another way.
That's a legume family.
What is a lupin animal? Lupin person, animal, or thing shares some of the characteristics of a wolf.
Boom.
There's so many
This
different
reminds me of Lucky.
beans, flowers, protein.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Yeah, the
Green
plant
manure.
of the pea family.
We're-
It's
really-
the first definition, and then the second one is of, like, or relating to a wolf.
Mhm.
really kind of messed up there and classifying all that stuff using the same word for all three of those.
That's really stupid.
Isn't it? I feel like I've seen
That's
some
like
great
English is English 101.
comedy sketches of that though. Like, what should we call it? This. What about this? This. You've already used that. No, people will understand.
What about we just inflammable, flammable, same thing?
Yeah. So you start heading up north, and what you find, there's like an area of interest. You find a dried up riverbed kind of branching to the northeast. So it looks like at one point would have been a tributary
Mm.
Oh.
that fed into the Gudrun River.
Mm.
Are there dinosaur bones in it?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that because you, as you find it, you are finding numerous bones strewn about the area.
Look at the bones.
This is what happens in a dried up river. You find bones.
Look at his teeth.
But they're kind of regular enough where it does look like there's sort of carnivorous activity. some sort of carnivorous animal is in this
maybe a
area.
Can I do survival and see if I see any tracks around these this area?
Can I aid?
Sure. Make the aid. Oh,
Right.
Patch getting called in.
Crit success.
And you're not a master, right?
I'm not. I'm just trained. In
So
survival.
+2. What do you got?
23.
Yeah, you notice there's quite a number of what look like large-ish wolf tracks and a couple, one or two individual that look like Clydesdale horse hoof sized. And it's right as this happens.
Looks like red size.
Red and Lucky
so
were here.
What's everyone's exploration activity? The two of you are looking for tracks, so that's an exploration activity.
Mhm.
And what would you say the rest of you were doing right now?
Probably scouting.
Yeah,
I
probably
was going to say scouting.
just
Yeah.
perceiving.
watching around the
Okay.
general forest. And
Am I scout? Am I looking for tracks? Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Because keep in mind, there's your basic, and if you
Yeah.
do something looking for tracks, it basically
Yeah.
switches.
that's good.
All right, Jonas, you kind of at that moment where do you point this out to anyone?
Oh yeah, I like tell people as I'm discovering it.
I'm like, oh yeah, I found it too.
I put your hand down.
What do any of you? How do any of you react to that?
For the tracks, I'd be
Yeah.
like, let me, do I know what kind of tracks it is? Knowledge and H,
Sure. What's your bonus?
+11, and I'm an expert.
I go put a big hoof next to the other hoof
You
and
like-
see how it
You
compares.
check yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
Stand
kind
in
of
there.
very large wolf thing. You can't tell from this exactly what it would be.
I think Lucky's out here.
Like a dire wolf.
So I said Lucky and Red were already here scouting
Mhm.
this place out.
Could be in that size, but there's honestly there's so many different creatures that have
Sure.
feet similar to that.
Yeah.
Starks.
I'm so excited. Just can't hide it.
I think the fact that we're finding large wolf and Nikolai's just history with that animal.
Mm-hmm.
He would like to get his bow out and maybe put an arrow, not like draw, but have it out.
And it's as you do this, Jonas, you notice that you've all, from the woods at the edges of this dried out riverbed, are surrounded.
Okay.
We're being hunted.
You count at least 6 wargs at the woods edge,
Let's fucking
staring
go.
at you.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
fucking go.
And then to the sort of northern edge, the sort of the top of the riverbed, you just hear a voice growl at you from the woods.
I will be the new Baron of Shatter Shield.
Hold up, dude. We didn't kill our werewolf.
Ah, fuck.
Do you humans hunt only the larger prey? Or do you come seeking our pelts as well?
Yeah, we come for your pelts too.
What? No.
Nikolai is like steps in front of him. That's not true. We are here on a hunt, and we were told that a drake and a wyvern and
Kruth.
a
Kruth.
Kruth were here. We've no desire to fight you or hunt you or any of it. As a matter of fact, if you have time, I'd like to ask you some questions.
Very interesting.
And it just like rumbles out. And you begin to see a shape in the woods. Wargs are big. Wargs are size
Yeah.
medium.
Very big.
But what you're seeing moving in the shadows of these trees is something size large.
Nikolai takes the arrow off the string, puts it back, and he's got his bow in his offhand.
And you can just barely make out like almost like as something breathes. Like your breath is showing up in the air. But you hear this like oof, oof, oof. And you can see that like as opposed to like where you can see your breath in the air as it warms, you're watching icicles forming off of branches as it's like stalks closer. And tune in next week to find out more.
Awesome.
I tell my name is Atreyu.
That's a good joke.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Want to support us? Check us out at patreon.com/live to die pod. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for more.